All right, what is up, Speak True Sports? I'm back with Dorjee, and today we are going to be going over the NBA season awards and our predictions for them. So that being MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, all that stuff, etc. We're going over each award. We both picked our guys, and we're going to present them to you right here. So let's kick it off. I'll go first, I guess, because my MVP relates to the standings video, which if you haven't seen that video, it's going to be up by the time this one comes out. So go check that out and go watch it. I think it's time finally to give Luka Doncic his MVP. I think this is the season. He's got a really good team around him, and obviously wins matter a lot into the MVP discussion. Yeah, whether it should or not, that's up for debate. But it clearly does, and historically it has. So considering where I have the Mavericks in the standings video, which you should go check out, that's basically why I've given Luka the award. I think we'll talk some runner-ups after your pick.
All right, so for MVP, I also have Luka.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
It's
interesting.
between him or Giannis, but I'm gonna go Luka.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you said before, I think they'll do pretty well in the regular season. Like the Dallas roster is much more well constructed now. Obviously, the addition of Christian Wood. Yeah, I truly think Luka will have a really good season. Like
Yeah.
as he's had really good seasons before, but I think this year the Mavs will be a little more. They'll elevate their game, and they'll be like proper contenders. I think last year they were truly missing like a really good center, because obviously like they traded Porzingis, but they got better after it. But like against the Warriors, the small ball was not working against them. So I think Dallas will be really good this year.
Yeah, and they added JaVale McGee, who I think is going to be great for Jason Kidd and that defense. The defense is already really good. Now they're adding a great rim protector, which is their biggest weakness last year. But yeah, some runner-ups. I was actually picking between Embiid and Luka because I was like, so here's the thing with me with Embiid, that he probably does deserve one by now. So that could be like a factor into him getting more votes. Just kind of like a reverse voters fatigue, where it's like what happened with James Harden, where like he kept missing out on MVP for so long, and eventually they were just like, all right, we'll give it to you. we'll give you an award, James Harden. So something kind of similar to that. But look, I mean, the media loves Luka so much, and he has so many fans. Like, if Luka can get to where he is in my standings video, I think they'll sway towards him. I think Embiid will have to wait another year, sadly. Also, injury issues could always prop up with Embiid, so kind of taking a safe road on that. And then, like you said, Giannis is obviously one. Jokic too, but Jokic, if he wins a third in a row, I mean, there's no way. Like he's gonna be the greatest player of all time. no.
Honestly, I don't think he'll win because Jamal Murray and Michael Porter are back. So I don't think his numbers will be that good compared to the
Really?
first. I mean, it'll still be amazing, but
You mean his scoring specifically, right?
yeah, like
Because
like
his playmaking is probably going to go up.
yeah, like his usage rate for the past 2 years when he won MVP was pretty high because he had pretty much no one. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just voters fatigue. I don't think he'll win 3 in a row.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. I guess I'll kick this one off too. So this is piggybanking off of my MVP pick, and I'm gonna say, hey, Embiid, I'm sorry you didn't get MVP. Here's the Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm giving
I did not expect that.
I'm giving Embiid the DPOY. I think Giannis is always obviously a great choice, and Rudy Gobert, depending on how things work out there, I think he'll be fine. And then there's obviously Draymond and Drew Holiday are the other runner-ups I have. But who's your MVP or Defensive Player of the Year?
My pick for Defensive Player of the Year is his I guess rival in the Eastern Conference, Bam Adebayo or Bam Monte.
That's good.
So I think he's a really, really good defender, like very versatile, can defend from pretty much 1 to 5. Honestly, like that Miami defense overall is very good, but he elevates it even more. Yeah, I think like as my other predictions will come, I think Miami will be very good this year. Like I think people haven't really been giving them too much credit because like in the offseason, they haven't really upgraded too much. Like they added Luka Jovic. But other than that, they lost PJ Tucker. So yeah, people are kind of writing them off, but I think they'll be really good this year. So Bam, it's my choice. But MB was a good choice too. I didn't really expect that, to be honest. I think my runners up was Giannis, and I chose Marcus Smart again. I know it's really controversial that he won, but
Yeah.
like the stats don't lie. He's a very good defender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, personally, I don't think Smart should have won, but that's a different topic for a different time. But at least the guard won it. We got a little variety and everything. And I agree with you about the Heat. I think people are being too hard on the Heat. I mean, they were a top team last year, even with Jimmy Butler shooting 0% from three for the first 3 months of the season. He did not hit a single three, and they crawled their way, and they were injured to heck and back. And they crawled their way back up into the standings. Like if they're just relatively healthy this year, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a really good team. And I think people are overreacting about they haven't added much or done much. It's not going to affect the regular season. That's something that affects them in the postseason, that they haven't added much, right? I think from where they are right now in the regular season, I think they're a top team in the East, and they're going to be a top team in the East as long as they're healthy. All right. Do you want to go to Rookie of the Year or Coach of the Year? I'll leave it up to you.
I guess we'll do Rookie of the Year.
All right, let's go Rookie of the Year. Why don't you go first?
So my pick, it was kind of difficult at first because I was thinking, okay, maybe Paulo Banchero will be the definite pick. But as I was reading over the whole situations and rosters, I decided to go with Jabari Smith Jr. Houston Rockets.
It's a good pick.
That Houston team is very, very exciting, long term.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got Jalen Green. They just gave Kevin Porter Jr. a bag today.
Yep.
This morning, I believe.
Big extension.
Yeah, and Jabari Smith, based on what I've seen from summer league and college, very, very good player. I think Houston really needed someone who could just spread the floor more in the front court, and he's a very good shooter. Can't really dribble that well. He's more of a spot for now, but I think he'd be a great piece for Houston. And honestly, the Rookie of the Year race is kind of wide open right now. There's no definitive pick, but I'll choose Jabari Smith Jr.
All right, I'm gonna go a little different here. I'm gonna pick somebody who is coming off the bench, not even starting right now for their team, but they are putting up such ridiculous numbers off the bench that I kind of just want to give it to him. I picked Tari Eason on the Houston Rockets as well. Yep, look, he's been, when you look at all the preseason games he's played, the summer league games he's played, he puts up he's putting up double doubles on a nightly basis. And not to say Paolo can't or Jabari Smith can't, but I don't know, Tari he's been so consistently good, and he's far surpassed my expectations. I kind of want to give him the nod, and I hope he does get the nod. My problem with Paolo could be that maybe his efficiency is pretty low, but Rookie of the Year, he doesn't care about efficiency that much. But I do think Paolo's efficiency is going to be low his first year, and he's going to have probably a high amount of turnovers, which is normal for a rookie. I also had Keegan Murray in the mix. If Keegan Murray started, I might lean to him just because what he's shown so far. He's just shown that he's so NBA ready, especially with shooting. I would pick him, but the Kings are the Kings. I think they might bring him off the bench to start the year. They've been starting Kevin Huerter. I heavily disagree with that, but the Kings will be Kings. And then I had Jabari Smith as a runner-up as well. I think those are that top three is probably the most likely to get it. Jaden Ivey deserves a shout out, but it's hard for primarily scoring guards to win Rookie of the Year. You probably have to be doing something else as well, because Paolo's going to be getting assists. He's going to also be getting rebounds. Jabari Smith's going to be getting rebounds. Tari Eason's getting rebounds like crazy right now. I think he has more rebounds than both of those guys actually. But yeah, that is who I've got for Rookie of the Year. You're right though; it's totally wide open. Could go any way. Gonna go to the Coach of the Year.
Sure. And just to finish off the Rookie of the Year segment, I think another underrated, favorite is probably Benedict Mathurin from the
Yeah.
Pacers. Canadian born, very confident guy. I believe his quote about LeBron earlier in the summer
Yep.
really had some people, I wouldn't say hating, but he was kind of blown out of proportion. But I think he's a very good player, one of the best shooters in the class for sure.
Yeah, and his job is going to be made way easier for him from Tyrese Halliburton being there. So, I mean, it's going to be a good 1-2 punch. Yeah, I mean, what else can you really say? Let's go on to Coach of the Year. So, I guess, I mean, the writing's kind of on the wall for me. I got Jason Kidd. Going back to the standings video, if you haven't looked at that, go look at that. You'll see where I have the Mavericks ranked, and you'll understand why he wins it. But yeah, Jason Kidd, he's really impressed me. I didn't think he was going to be this good as a coach. He's really changed and improved throughout his years, from his years away from coaching, or at least his years away from head coaching, because he was still on the Lakers. But you can definitely tell he took a lot of time, or learned a lot of lessons, and he's really come over and he's won the locker room. He's got everyone to buy in and defend at a high level, and it got them to the conference finals. Like, I'm putting my money on Jason Kidd right now.
Honestly, yeah, that's not really a bad pick, to be honest. Because at first, like when he first joined Dallas, I did not expect him to do too much. Because, I mean, he wasn't too bad in Milwaukee, but I don't know. He had some questionable decisions at times.
Yeah.
Obviously, New York wasn't that good. So my pick for Coach of the Year, it goes along with my Defensive Player of the Year. It's Eric Spoelstra. I think Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion, is the second best coach in the league, or arguably the best. Like, he's been there for so long, and he's had that pedigree of just constantly having winning seasons.
Yeah.
Very good adjustments as well in the playoffs. And yeah, it goes along with my prediction for Defensive Player of the Year. I think Miami will be very good this year, like at least top 3 seed in my opinion. And yeah, like no matter what roster he has them playing well. Like, obviously, no one expected them to make the finals in 2020. They were 1 game away last year. And yeah, honestly, besides Spoelstra, my other pick was Steve Kerr. I don't think he'll win because I don't think the Warriors will be that dominant. Might be a hot take, but I don't think because I think the West this year is kind of stacked, in my opinion. So
that is a bit of a hot take. But yeah. I mean, it's not far-fetched. I mean, if injuries happen, they really could affect their offense. Obviously, if Draymond goes down, he's an underrated part of their offense. We saw how they looked without Draymond last year. Wasn't really that good. And same with Steph, obviously. If Steph goes down, it would suck. But yeah, I think my runner-ups were Doc Rivers. If he can get the Sixers to like a top 3 seed, I think Doc Rivers could be in contention. I had Spoelstra, and I had Tyronn Lue. If he gets the Clippers if he gets the Clippers into a top 4 seed, I think he could also be in serious consideration. But yeah, Coach of the Year is usually just whoever has the most wins or whoever made the biggest surprise in terms of their rise. So even though Spoelstra, even though he is like one of the best coaches in the NBA, I mean, he's been good for so long that it's not like something that's fresh and new to the media. So maybe everyone won't pounce on it right away. Not to disparage your pick, but
no, it's not.
Spoelstra, he definitely deserves to be considered. And I think arguably he should have even won it last year potentially. Yeah. Let's go on to 6th man of the year.
I guess I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
I have Jordan Poole winning it. I think it's probably one of the, I wouldn't say like heavily scrutinized, because obviously the punch, that was definitely a pretty big event. And also the $35 million a season contract he has at the moment. But based on what we've seen from last year, very talented player. Very talented. And it's kind of wild to see that the Warriors have someone that good off their bench. I don't think he'll start next year, to be honest, because if they do start him, Steph and Clay has 3-guard lineup. I just don't think that's sustainable enough in the regular season. Could be in the playoffs. It did work. But yeah, he'll probably come off the bench. He just, a very solid player, like pretty much near 20 point per game scorer.
Yeah.
he'll be very good for the Warriors this year.
Yeah, they're probably gonna use that lineup in a lot of small ball stuff when Draymond's at center. It'll be Steph, Clay, Poole, Wiggins, Draymond. But yeah, that's a really good pick. I'd say he's probably the favorite to win it. I'm having such a tough time picking between him and somebody else. And it's not Tyler Hero, actually, who is probably like the third man in the race, in my opinion. He's already won one, so I think his chances go down a little bit unless he has an absolutely incredible year. You know what? Since you went Jordan Poole, I'll go with okay, this is gonna be so stupid because it's like this one team sweeping everything. But I'll go Christian Wood. Christian Wood is sixth man of the year. Christian Wood.
Honestly, it's not a bad pick, to be honest.
Honestly, I feel like, in my opinion, he's probably the second most likely to get it behind Jordan Poole. I was debating between him and Jordan Poole all day. I still couldn't really come to an agreement. And then when you said Jordan Poole, I was like, okay, I guess I'll go Christian Wood to spice it up. But yeah, my runner-ups, I got Tari Eason here just because he's coming off the bench, so he might as well be in consideration. Hero and obviously Wood or Poole. I think those are the main guys. I think you could also maybe consider Obi Toppin if he improves a lot this year. I think he could definitely be in contention for this. Yeah, there's a few other guys, maybe Jordan Clarkson if he gets traded like he's supposedly, been rumored to be. It's a tough award to pick, really. But the next award that we're going to touch on is significantly harder to pick.
Yeah.
Most improved player. This is a crapshoot. Like literally, you could say anybody, and it could be valid. Like I could literally just be like, okay, Sandro Mamuleshevsky or whatever his name.
Oh, on the Bucks, right?
Yeah, on the Bucks. You could say literally anybody. That's not my pick, but you could say literally anybody and be like, okay, I guess I'll take you seriously because you never know what happens in the season. Someone could get hurt. He could get the starting position, or he could get a solid bench position. All of a sudden, his numbers go up through the roof. Everyone's like, yo, this guy's really good. So I went with the hometown pick. I might as well bring one wizard into some type of award because it's probably not going to happen any other way. I picked Rui Hachimura for most improved. He's been really killing it in the preseason. It would be kind of a surprise if he doesn't start. But even if he doesn't, I think he's still going to be playing like heavy minutes off the bench, like 30 minutes or so off the bench. He's developed himself way more as a scorer, as a shooter, and he just looks a lot more comfortable on defense as well. This is just preseason, obviously, but he looks good. I want to go from one of my guys. So there you go. And I also think if he doesn't start, I guess you could throw Denny Avdia into the conversation. If Denny starts at the 3, which I think Rui or Denny, one of them needs to start at 3 for sure. I don't want to see Will Barton at the 3 for the whole season. But if Denny starts, I mean, if you saw what he did overseas this year, over the summer, he was really, really solid, especially from 3. He's been working with Bradley Beal's coach, or shooting coach and whatever, and he is definitely improved. If he starts and he puts up better numbers than he did last year, which I guess it would be way easier with more minutes, obviously, with more opportunity. I think Denny could be in the conversation. My only thing keeping the Wizards out is that maybe they won't make, they'll probably be towards bottom to mid of the Eastern Conference. So it's like, it's going to be hard for one of them to really make a case, be like, yo, this guy's so improved and his team is still not great. So obviously that just disparages any pick I have, but I wanted to go with a hometown guy. Might as well. This is a crapshoot anyways. Dorjee, who do you have?
So yeah, he basically summed it up perfectly. It's a really, really hard award to predict. Like it could be anyone, honestly. Like John Morant won it last year. Wasn't that expected. And so for my pick, at first I was thinking OG Anunoby. Like I think he's due for a breakout season. He's been consistently a very solid 3-and-D player. Yep. The only problem with him is he's really injury prone. He misses a lot of games at certain stretches of the season. So I'm going to go with his teammate, Gary Trent Jr. Very, very, I think he's very underrated. Very good offensively. He hit a great moving shot. And he's also one of the best, in my opinion, he's one of the best on-ball defenders as a guard in the league.
Yep.
He was, I think he was ranked top 5 in steals or deflections. I know Van Vliet definitely was, but Gary Trent is a very tenacious defender. very, very like irritating and pesky. He's kind of like Marcus Smart, just the less of the antics, but yeah, he's a very solid player. And yeah, I think he'll elevate his game. Obviously, our team has a lot of scorers. Like I think we were the only team in the NBA that had 15 plus per game scores in the NBA. So it'll be kind of hard for him to win because considering we have so much scoring talent, but I think he might be our second best scoring option behind Pascal at the moment. So I'll go Trent. But honestly, I did have a runner-up. I was thinking about this. Franz Wagner of the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
He had a very good Eurobasket. And yeah, and honestly, it's not too uncommon for rookies to win Most Improved as well. So who knows?
Yeah. I think everyone felt like it was a little cheap that Ja Morant won Most Improved last year just because, I mean, he was the number 2 overall pick. You expect him to be that good. But at the same time, his numbers did make an insane leap. And some other, okay, so I'm looking at the odds list for like other Most Improved players, like just betting odds. Tyrese Halliburton right now is the favorite, tied with Anthony Edwards.
Oh, really?
That's a possibility. I think Jalen Brunson's I think he's a good bet. Tyrese Maxey could be a really, really solid option there. And there's guys like Cade, like there are second year players here. For some reason, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is here, even though he's hurt like constantly.
Yeah.
And he's hurt right now, isn't he? Too, like right now.
He is. I think he's missed the first few games of the season.
Yeah. So I mean, that already doesn't look good. But yeah, I hope he stays healthy. But he's already proven that he's really good. I don't know how much more could he really improve. Like it's tough. Şengün is here. That's a good choice. Jalen Green, Sexton, Garland, Ben Simmons. I don't know how much more he could really improve. That would be more of like a comeback story than
unless he goes off offensively, but I don't think he will because he looked pretty shaky in the preseason. Yeah,
unless he like is starting to hit threes like consistently. If he starts hitting threes consistently, like I would be like, okay, yeah, you can slide him forward if you want. But yeah, total crap shoot of an award. Tell us who you think it could be. You could say literally anybody, all right? And I will not say that's impossible. Anybody that's not already amazing. So yeah. Well, that's all we've got for the awards and all that. I've been Bert.
I've been Dorjee.
And we will catch you guys next time. Check out the standings video if you want to see some more content. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. See you.